Hey crafters, it's Janet with Crafting It Up and Creations coming at you today with just a little bit of a project share. I am in by no way, no how, an expert at painting furniture. I've seen a lot of things online that look so pretty, and I found this on a yard sale page and went and picked it up. I needed something to put underwear and socks and my little camis that I like to wear and my pajamas in, and this was small enough that I felt like could easily fit all that but not take up a lot of room. Now the hardware on this I absolutely loved, and I kept it, and I just repainted that as well. But I'm going to show you what I did with this. Me and Jim kind of have like a little blended family, and we have a lot of furniture between the two of us that don't match at all. So this doesn't really go with the color of my bedroom, but I love purple, and I thought that I would use the English Lavender chalk paint by Waverly, and I'll show that to you here in a minute. But first I'm gonna take out all the hardware. There was one screw that was actually missing on these drawers, and I just happened to remember that, so I need to go back and find one to put in there. But this is what they look like otherwise. They weren't in bad shape, but there were some dings, a little bit of scratches. Of course, this is, some of it is real wood. These handles are so nice. I use this really pretty metallic dark copper spray paint. Got it at Walmart. It says it's paint and primer all in one. And I actually use this on another project here in the next couple days that I'll share with you as well. I love this color. So I think I've just about used it all up. I sprayed the back part of the pieces of the smaller ones, and then I sprayed the larger handles, and then flipped that handle, of course, and sprayed the other part of other half of it as well. But it just makes such a big difference. Like, they were kind of that antique gold look, and now they're this really beautiful copper look. And I really like these. Now I use my On Guard cleaner by doTERRA, and I'm just gonna wipe off the whole piece just to make sure that I get all the dirt and dust off. And my daughter was actually helping me film some of this, so some of it does seem like it's like a little bit too up close. But I actually did this within a matter of 2 days, or maybe a little less than that total, because it's been really hot in Virginia, so I was able to paint, and chalk paint typically dries pretty fast, and able to put on a second coat before I went to my brother's on July 4th. That's how long I've been hanging on to this. Now I wanted to use just one of these. This is English Lavender. I have found in the past, and it's probably due to not mixing it up well enough, but it seems like I always end up with sort of two different colors if I use two different containers. So I really wanted to use up the one container, and was hoping that I would not have to open up the second one in order to finish the project. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply gloves because I'm very messy. And of course it was really dark at the top. It needs stirred really well, so I just use a popsicle stick. And then I'm going to use a paintbrush that I got at Walmart. Dollar Tree has tons of paintbrushes that are very nice, that will do very well. And then I did use a stencil brush to apply the wax at the end. And I ended up giving all of this 2 coats. And it's just a really light, pretty purple. And I did this on my back porch because we keep having thunderstorms just roll right through. And I was afraid to put it anywhere else. And it's kind of up close to the edge, closest to the house, just because I was afraid the water would splash in and get to it. So I'm going to paint this entire piece. And I'm going to go one by one. And I go around all the edges. I did not paint inside the drawers. And I just move it all out of the way and move it over a little bit and get each drawer. And then I'm going to paint the entire cabinet itself. And I can tell you that I was so excited to be able to actually squat down and paint this. Now my knee is not swelling or anything like it was. I had arthroscopic surgery last year. But I'll tell you, those vitamins and nutrients that I'm taking from doTERRA have really helped. That's honestly pretty much what I order every month is the Lifelong Vitality supplements. And they've made a huge difference in my knee. It doesn't swell anymore. I'm able to squat. I can sit Indian style again. It's been awesome. Now I'm going to end up taking that little stencil brush. I'm going to clean it out when I'm done. But I go around all the edges just so I can get those really well. It has been so humid in Virginia. I don't know about where you guys live, but in the next couple of days they're even calling it to feel like 105. And I know some areas will have that much temperature-wise, but our humidity makes it feel so much hotter. Causes that curly hair to frizz up too. So I just paint all around each of the edges. I don't do any of the drawers. I didn't line the drawers. So far I actually have filled it up except for one drawer. I didn't end up putting my pajamas in it because I just have too many that are thick. But this was really nice to have for my socks and underwear and bras and the camis. I love wearing camis in the winter, under scrubs, under sweatshirts and stuff like that, just to kind of give that added warmth. Of course, in the last several years, I've not had that warmth problem. I've actually been too hot. And then I just take the Folk Art antiquing wax in the darker brown, and I'm gonna dip the stencil brush in it, and even sometimes pat it on the little sock that I was wearing on my hand, or even the lid, to kind of get as much of that wax off of there. And then I kind of just brush across the piece. And as I did it a little bit more, I got better at it, to the desired look that I was looking for. If I got too heavy-handed, I actually went back and took the paintbrush with the purple, or the English lavender purple, and went right back over it, just to kind of take away some of the harshness. I didn't really like it where I rubbed over it with the sock, but I do know with the wax, if you rub it into the paint like that, it does kind of give it a protective barrier. And I made sure that I went around each of those corners, anywhere where it's raised or indented. That color really kind of helps highlight those areas, or the wax does. And like I say, as I kind of kept going through this, I thought it looked better if I took almost as much of the wax off of that stencil brush that I could. And I really love how this turned out. It almost makes me want to paint a little dresser that I bought off the yard sale page as well, just so those pieces match. And I have another piece that I could actually do that too, but none of Jim's furniture would be purple. And I'm not so sure he would be loving that. But he did actually say that he was impressed at how it came out, because he's not a big fan of painting real wood furniture, or, you know, hiding that real pretty wood texture that some pieces have. And sometimes I am okay with it, you know, especially when it's that particle board or press board, because it's not really a wood anyway. It's just that veneer finish that they've put on the top. So those pieces I don't think as much about. And a piece like this has some real wood in it, because as you can see, the drawers themselves are a nice wood. I went across here. I got a little heavy-handed on this, so I did go back and lighten that up. Anywhere where that looks like the two knots are in the wood on this, I tried to go over and, you know, kind of make that stand out as well. And Elena was helping me video this before we went to my brother's. So, like I say, some of it's a little maybe too close up. But it really kind of helps also to see the definition of some of those areas. And I'm trying to just do it where I just flick it back and forth across. You know, with holding it with your wrist kind of free flowing. And I basically just sweep over in that motion all over the sides and the top. And I try to focus on the areas that I feel like I want it highlighted, if that makes sense. But I've been looking like for a piece for like this for a while now. I wanted something, you know, that was smaller. We already have two dressers and one like Chester drawers in the room, and the dresser and Chester drawers, one set is Jim's that he's had for years, and then I have one that is just 6 drawers that holds some of my clothes, and I just didn't have enough room in that for like scrub pants and regular pants, as well as pajamas, and then bras, underwears, camis. Just couldn't fit it all in there, so this made it really nice to be able to have a place to put those. I had picked up another piece off the yard sale page at one other time and painted it a real pretty, like Nantucket blue, I think was the color, from Waverly. And I ended up giving that piece to my daughter when she moved out, because it was a little bit too big for what I needed and perfect for what she needed. So this is kind of what the top looks like. I'm just going over the top here. Like I say, I tried to, as I got a little bit better at that, I didn't put near as much wax on that stencil brush. I actually tried to unload a lot of it, or as much as I could. And there's what the side looks like and the top. And then here's all the drawers. And I'm going to add that hardware back to them. And like I say, I kept the knobs on this because I just really liked them. And these little pieces are so pretty. I really love that color. And then here it is actually sitting in my bedroom. This is kind of a little corner area that's right next to the bathroom. I've changed a little bit of some of the stuff that's on top to hold some of the nail polishes that I have. But this is an overview of what it looks like with the handles back on it. I've done a few different ones now. I've used some of the blue chalk paint, some of the purple, and even a pink on an old washstand piece that I actually picked up off of the yard sale page as well. So anyways, if you have any comments or suggestions, let me know down below. If you like this type of video, let me know. I've done a few different other things in the past that are similar to this. I wasn't even sure that I was going to share this, but I thought it would be fun just to kind of show some of the things that I get involved with here and there, besides some of the normal crafts that everybody does. As always, thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me, and I hope you guys are having a great summer, and I hope you get a moment to craft it up.